JPMorgan Chase CEO Jamie Dimon becoming the latest high-profile business leader to sound off on the Trump administration's changes to the H-1B visas. The president announcing they'll soon cost $100,000 for new workers. Speaking with our colleagues at CNBC TV 18 in India during the bank's summit there, Dimon said the changes caught everyone off guard.
I believe in merit-based immigration. You know, as a matter of fact, I would beg the president, he has accomplished border control, that's great. I mean, I think all nations want real border control. That helps make a nation. But after that, we should have, good immigration.
We also heard from NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang and OpenAI CEO Sam Altman on H-1Bs yesterday in their interview with CNBC's John Fort. Huang saying immigration is critical to his company and America's future, and Altman saying it's important to bring the smartest people into the U.S. I saw a lot of stuff on social media that do illustrate the other side, that it's for years not necessarily really high-tech people have been hired at, in India and other places.
The average is 167,000, maybe 165.
People in the United States at the expense of people that are totally qualified in the United States. And it also might allow companies to do that without doing the training which you could be doing for people in the United States. I mean, I can see the rationale.
I can see both sides of it. We had Robert Frank here yesterday, and he talked to us a little bit off camera. I've asked for him to come back tomorrow and say a little bit, because he's been doing research on this, talking to immigration lawyers who tell him that this has been abused. It's a system that's been abused.
We want the best and brightest, but we want
to pay market salaries for people to be coming in. 71% of these visas go to people from India. Another 11% are going to people from China. There is a 6% unemployment rate right now, Robert mentioned, that is for recent graduates. So it's much higher than the average unemployment rate. And there are questions about a lot of things that could be causing this, whether it's AI, whether it's a slowdown in the economy, or employers thinking they just want to hold on to the people they have and not bring new people in. But there are some valid questions to be asked about whether this system has been abused, particularly.
I mean, you can't do it remotely from India, right?
There was something weird, because it did say that there are people who are still overseas in India, who have these H-1B visas. Maybe they can come and go back and forth.
Maybe that's what it is. But all the call centers, we know that, when you're really doing anything on the phone.
Yeah, I don't think these visas are necessarily.
The question to me, though, is I'd say, how terrible is the abuse? Because there is a trade-off.
Yeah.
And that's the fundamental question. If you told me that, you could get back 10 or 20,000 jobs, how do I think about that in the grander context of innovation and trying to have the best people want to come here? And that's a real question. If you looked at where the
breakdown was, 10,000 of these visas are held by Amazon employees, another 5,000 each, I think, by Meta and Microsoft. Right. And then there's another one of the Mag 7 that takes up almost 28,000. Almost half of these visas are taken up by the Mag 7. And that's an area where they could probably just afford to be paying more. It's not
the whole onshoring phenomenon. You have to do the same trade-offs. And people would say for 40 years we didn't care about those trade-offs. It's just
it's the
torpedoes be damned. We're going to get the cheapest labor and we're going to get the highest profit margin. But if we bring back stuff that shouldn't be made here to get American jobs, it's probably going to cost more than it normally would, which could long-term hurt innovation. And so every one of these...
It's the innovation question. This one is the innovation trade-off.
And that's got a lot of question is, some of it are used by doctors, and there was an issue that was brought up to the administration saying, look, this could hurt rural areas where you can't find a doctor who will come in. The administration responded by saying we could do exemptions for things that we think are important for the country. So maybe there's a way to cut it back.
Well, that's why I said, is there a way where for the Mag 7 they can pay if those are the ones that are being abused? Let's try to focus on those. I'm just curious and don't want to obviously cut off our nose.
There's a whole movement where people say, I'll pay more for something made in America. And it's obviously going to, there are people who want to do that.
Who are those people?
Just a lot of people that say, I'll pay more. I want it made here. People that want American jobs here. I'll pay more.
They say that, and then they don't do that.
They say it.
No, they say it, and they don't do it, and that's the most important part.
We have a governor's race in New Jersey, and one of the candidates says, renewables are going to cost you an arm and a leg, but you'll do it if you're a good person. And that's the same thing. Do people really want to pay that much more?
Joe,
You can see
it's the same argument that you would make to me, and this is why, to me, it doesn't make sense. I was going to say, here we are in New York, and you'd say Mandami wants to raise taxes, and you would say, well, if the taxes go up, people are going to say they're going to leave. Yeah. Well, are they not just going to say, I'm going to live here and I'm happy to pay more? Yeah. That's the point. If you're,
it's a matter of degrees. I mean,
well, no, but if you're willing to say, look, by raising the price,
I'm not saying that people that want to say I'll pay more for American-made goods. I'm not saying that they're really going to do it one way or another. I'm just saying there is a movement where, you know, with what we've seen, J.D. Vance is the reason, right? The reason that he's. You know, he's got to
where. That is a political movement, but I don't believe that there's an economic movement. Meaning, I don't think.
Well, you haven't lost your job to one of the 80,000 factories that were shut down.
No. I'm just saying that I don't believe that we're seeing people go out and because it says, unfortunately, say "Made in America," that they're willing to pay more for that product. Well, they might not,
but they elected this guy because of that was one of the major themes was that with the hollowing out of the middle class.
I understand what the promise was.
Okay, I'm just saying that it is an argument that people make. I'm willing to pay more if we can do it here.
They've been playing the music over us.
Made in America. Made in America, just like Squawk Box.